Welcome to Pocket Chess level 870, checkmate with 4 moves using 2 rooks and a bishop, with the blacks having a rook and 2 pawns to defend themselves. Notice here the king is almost in the top right corner, and it is strategically a good thought to push the king to the top right corner in order to restrict its movement and get a checkmate. However, the king is defended by a rook that is in a very strategic location. Our rook covers these 3 tiles, but we cannot threaten the opponent's rook, and the king, where it is, cannot go to this tile or to this tile, but it's not threatened either. So essentially we need a bishop at this point, but we don't have that. So we can start threatening the king with different options here. If we do this, we lose the piece, so it's not a good option. If we start by threatening the king here and here, we lose it again. We lose our rook. We could remove the rook here instead. Now the king is in the corner. Now we can threaten the king with the bishop, and by opening up, if we move the rook here, we lose it. If we move the rook here, we lose it again. If we move the rook here, the king moves back. So this is not a good position either. And of course we cannot move this rook here, because once the king is on the second row on a black tile, on a darker tile, it's game over. We could start with this movement, or with this move, or even with this move, but then we lose the piece. But for the previous moves, we don't have many options afterwards. We can do this, but we lose the bishop. And by starting with this position, we cannot threaten the king beyond what we did earlier. We could start by moving this piece down here, this rook, close to the king. Now we can threaten the king, but the king moves to the left, and once it has done that, it escapes again, because if we move the rook here, we lose it from the other rook, and of course we lose it either as well with the second rook as well. So we don't have many good options here, but we can take advantage of the bishop protecting this tile and move the rook here and say check. And now the king is on the top right corner, and that is a very good starting point, because with the first move the king has moved to the place that we wanted to go. Now we cannot move the second rook here because we lose it, but we can move it here. Notice now that the black rook is on the corner and threatens our bishop. If we threaten the king with this move, the king moves here. If we threaten the king with the rook, the king moves again in the same location. So what we need to do, and we cannot threaten the king with this move because we lose the rook. So what we need to do now is move the opponent's rook somewhere else, and ideally next to the king, so that it blocks one of the exits. Now we only have to cover this piece here, which is covered by this rook when this rook is moved to this location. So now the king cannot move here, and it is checkmate. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please subscribe to my channel.